The clock has become as important as the whistle for Barcelona this week. A registration deadline looming on September 1st has transformed routine squad administration into a high-stakes drama that could shape the club's entire opening month. At the centre of that drama is Gerard Martin, a young, adaptable defender who, until the 11th hour, seemed poised to step up and become a regular utility presence in Hansi Flick's evolving plans. Instead, his elevation was held up by paperwork and balance sheet reality, leaving Flick one versatile body short, just as fixtures pile up and form matters more than ever. The club insists it is working frantically to create the necessary salary cap space, pointing to planned departures, including Oriol Romu's contract termination, but delays in those negotiations have meant Martin, and with him Rooney Bardet and even Wojciech Szczesny in some scenarios, face the real risk of being unavailable for immediate selection. That isn't an abstract administrative problem. It arrives in the dressing room as fewer options for rotation, as a narrower tactical palette for the manager, and as palpable anxiety for supporters who want a fast, confident start. Flick's public comments have made it clear he values Martin not just as a homegrown face but as a tactical Swiss Army knife, someone who can plug gaps at centre-back or on the flank and allow the coach to adjust shape without panic. Losing that option forces Flick to either rely more heavily on established starters, push inexperienced players into big match environments, or hunt the market for temporary cover. Each choice carries consequences. Relying on starters increases fatigue and risk of injury. Blooding inexperienced alternatives could cost points in tight early fixtures. Dipping into the market would likely be expensive and hasty and may not yield the specific profile Flick prefers. The stakes are therefore both immediate and strategic. A failed registration doesn't simply bench a player, it narrows the manager's playbook at a moment when adaptability could be decisive. From the administrative side, the problem reads like a balancing act of numbers and timing. Salary cap, regulations and financial fair play constraints mean departures must be processed before arrivals can be fully registered. That is why Oriol Romu's exit, reportedly close to agreement, matters so much. One completed departure could unlock multiple registrations. But football is messy. Human negotiations, last-minute change of minds, and the slow wheels of bureaucracy have stretched the club's timeline until the deadline sits as a constant gnawing pressure. Meanwhile, fixtures do not pause for finance. The squad travelled to Valencia without Martin in the matchday group, and there are crucial matches ahead that could define momentum. Every untaken training session and every game without the intended personnel becomes an opportunity for rivals and a trial for Flick's depth planning. For supporters, the drama is double-edged. There is frustration that internal business might hamstring the team on the pitch, but there is also the faint hope that a dramatic, last-minute solution could furnish a narrative twist. Football history is full of late rescues and sudden agreements that change seasons. Barcelona's history has its share of both administrative bungles and inspired recoveries. Realistically, there are three likely scenarios emerging from this standoff. First, the club finalises the necessary exits before September 1st and the registrations go through. A tidy fix restores Flick's options and allows pre-planned rotations to proceed. Second, only partial registrations are completed, forcing Flick to adapt in the short term and potentially leave key names sidelined until after the international break. Third, the club fails to unlock the space and is compelled to pursue alternative signings or heavier reliance on the existing senior group, which could unbalance the squad's depth. Each path influences selection, training rhythms, and the psychological tenor around the team. Beyond tactics and paperwork, there is an undercurrent of identity in the story. How Barcelona manages the balance between youth promotion and financial prudence will be scrutinised by pundits and fans alike. Martin's stalled promotion is a test of the club's ability to integrate academy talent under pressure. For Flick, it is a test of managerial creativity. Can he rewire the squad to compensate, or will the lack of a promised option force compromises that show up on the pitch? For the players affected, it is personal and professional uncertainty. For the club's hierarchy, it is a reminder that even the best-laid plans must account for contractual friction and the unforgiving pace of a football calendar. As the countdown continues, the narrative we watch is not only about one player's registration, but about how a major club navigates the intersection of sport and finance under deadline pressure. The next 72 hours could bring relief, compromise, or continued tension. Each outcome will offer clear signals about Barcelona's depth, flex adaptability, and the club's operational nimbleness. For fans, the instruction is simple. Keep an eye on squad lists and official confirmations, because the paperwork will speak as loudly as the performance in the weeks to come. And the way this transfer puzzle resolves could determine whether Barcelona enters September with momentum or with a tactical problem that will shadow the early fixtures.